Initializing host playback.
Welcome to MRP, the Metal Robot Podcast, the podcast about all things metal and everything in between. It's a new episode of the Metal Robot Podcast as we conclude the 2023 season with a hell of an episode here. 2 episodes, in fact. And in this episode, we are sitting down with the one, the only, Collin of Thrashers Paradise to talk about what we've been listening to in 2023 and also make a lot of jokes about Sleep Token that probably did not age well. I am so sorry, guys. That is what we're doing in this episode. We also get into talking about a lot of stuff, and we did all of this over Instagram Live back in December. So if you are excited, just as excited as I am, let's not waste much more time and let's get into the show. I'm Tom McKay, and this is episode 53 of the Metal Robot Podcast. Collin, thank you so much for joining us on the Metal Robot Podcast. How you doing today?
Hi, Tom.
How's it going, man?
I am actually good. Wait. I don't need to look at the screen anymore to talk to you. I can just turn my head and just talk to you.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's what we're here for, man. We're here to have some fun. We're here to have some conversations and talk to people, not cameras. I'm just fiddling with the microphone as a professional would.
Yes. To answer the question, I am doing okay. It's weird, but I'm doing okay.
Yeah.
How are you?
I am doing pretty good. And the reason why, for a bit of context here for the podcast listeners and for Instagram Live, which we are doing right now as well at the time of this recording, the reason why we're doing this is because we are coming towards the end of the year, the end of 2023. And not to get too interesting or a bit too provocative, I guess, 2023, I cannot wait to be done with, to be quite honest. How about you?
It's been depressing as hell for me. So yeah, actually, I can't lie. It's had its fair share of up and downs. Well, for starters, I'm a dad. So I guess you can call me Daddy Thrash now.
Daddy Thrash.
But besides that,
I think that'd be considered an up, to be honest. I think that would be considered an up.
An upgrade, yeah.
It's a huge upgrade, yeah.
It's no longer just the Thrasher. It's now, or the Sterlings. It's now Daddy Thrash.
Daddy Thrash. It is Daddy Thrash.
That should be a t-shirt.
That should be a t-shirt, honestly, yeah.
Honestly, I gave myself branding idea right there.
Woohoo! Yeah, and it's definitely not been a great year otherwise. I'm not going to get too deep into that for me, but it's definitely been one of those things where you just kind of can't wait for the year to be done all together.
I mean, yeah, like new year, new start, new challenges, maybe new opportunities.
Exactly, yeah.
Here's hoping for the best come 2024.
Yes, we all can't wait for that. But you know what? The reason why, and on top of that, with the end of this, and you know what? I'm going to let you tee up what we're doing here while I let the dogs out, because the dogs seem to be doing their own thing now.
You're trusting me with your viewership and listeners.
I am very trusting, and that's going to be my downfall eventually. One sec.
It's all good. So, ladies and gentlemen, as a typical thing Tom and I do here on the podcast, when Thrashers Paradise and the Metal Robot Reviews or the Metal Robot Podcast collide and form to do an epic collab, we always ask the pondering question, not what if, but what have you been listening to? So today we're going to be talking about, as a whole, what we have been listening to for the entirety of 2023. What great songs we've heard, what not so great songs we've heard, what new bands have entered into our cycle of continuous returns of songs and albums we go back to from now on to the rest of the time. But obviously, we're going to be, of course, diving into our what ended up being in the top 100 or top 50 playlists, our various different song platform apps we listen to continually. For me, it's Spotify Wrap. I know you have Apple Music, and I don't know if they do something similar to the Wrapped.
Yeah, I think they do, but honestly, I had the Spotify Wrap too, but mostly just for the podcast listeners, which I gotta say, I was very surprised. I don't know if you saw my post on it on Instagram, but the AI one took off. like not took off, but in comparison to the ones I thought were going to do much better, it was actually, because I thought the Taylor Swift episode was going to,
yeah.
because I did an episode talking about Taylor Swift and what we can learn from her, which is, something that you'd think, given Taylor Swift, that would actually pop off a bit more. But no, it was the discussion about AI.
That honestly doesn't surprise me because of how much AI has kind of taken over 2023.
Yeah, because that's the thing.
So,
there was an entire strike about it, 2 strikes, in fact, in Los Angeles about it. It was one of those things that was like it just took over and everybody was talking about it. But I had to throw my 2 cents about that. But that was surprising to me when I saw that. But the reason why we're doing like this, and normally a lot of the music review YouTube and podcasting would be doing end of year lists for top 10 best this, top 10 best that, or even top 10 worst of the year. But the reason why we're doing it like this is because, as I talked about, this year's not been the most fun year. So I can't speak for you, Collin, but I didn't get a chance to listen to a lot of music that was like piquing my interest a whole lot.
I can kind of concur with you there. My musical experience has taken a completely different direction, mainly because of becoming a father. So I've had to add in a lot of pop and other genres to my my standards. But yeah, I haven't even heard the new Cannibal Corpse album.
There's a new Cannibal Corpse album? That's my point. That's exactly what I'm talking about.
Yes, there is a new Cannibal Corpse album. Do I remember the title of it? No, but because of my lovely electronic device I have right in my hand over here, I'm going to quickly search it up on Spotify because it's there.
It does exist.
It does exist. It's just finding the motivation just to sit down and listen to it, and other albums that I were interested in listening in, like the new Serenity album. I haven't listened to that yet. Or even there was this band, Asenhell. That is the guitarist and lead vocalist of Voltbeat's death metal project.
Nice.
Yes. Here we go. Chaos Horrific. Cannibal Corpse.
Okay.
And obviously the album looks like that.
That is a Cannibal Corpse album cover.
So it is a Cannibal Corpse cover, as Tom has to quickly go and let the dogs in.
Yes, puppy responsibilities are fun.
It's all right. Daddy thrashes this covered. Ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, and she's back.
Hey, there we go. But before we continue on, just if you don't mind going over to the Thrashers Paradise Instagram, Facebook, or YouTube, greatly appreciate the likes or even a subscribing. Or hey, you check out some of the interviews or posts I do create as the dogs are being dogs.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
The dogs are being dogs, of course. They're going to be. We're just going to put up with it for the time being.
Yes, because fun.
Fun. Yeah, exactly. I didn't listen to a whole lot of. I listened to quite a bit. I reviewed quite a bit on the show, but nothing, to be honest, even with the good reviews it's like some of the good reviews I gave, not a whole lot I went back to be quite honest. At least not enough for a best of the year list.
I personally have given up on it just because it's too difficult just to pick just one album that tends to be better than the rest, right. Especially with the kind of niche market I'm doing with Canadian metal bands and Canadian metal albums, and just keep trying to keep it independent. It's like, it's hard to keep track of all that local stuff because, well, life has gotten in the way, and now it's difficult. I do find it difficult a lot, and especially trying to find the motivation to do interviews and sit down and try and do stuff. Like, I'm surprised I even posted as many videos as I did and did as many interviews as I was able to, got the opportunity to do this year as the dogs fight on the bed.
Yeah.
But
we're just kind of going to deal with that.
Yeah, why not? But to be in all seriousness, it's just life gets in the way of so much, as the microphone is just saying, hey, I want to annoy you.
Yeah. The reason why we're going to do it like this is because, it's sort of like our own sort of Spotify Wrapped. This is the Metal Wrapped of 2023, where we look back on what we've been listening to, and Collin, as our esteemed guest, having to deal with the dogs as well in the background. Why don't you go first?
Before we get into it, I actually like to pose a question to you.
Sure.
So I don't know if you've been listening to the words of the metal elite, like social platform people.
Right.
But what the hell is Sleep Token, and why are they so popular this year? I haven't listened to their music. It's like, why is this band?
They've popped up recently. Like, are they a new band? I swear to God.
I guess, but it's like their shirts are at Hot Topic. They're in like talks for, I think they were like Spotify's #1 song for metal music this year. It's like, who's this Sleep Token band? Like,
I don't know.
No one else has talked about it except for this month, and it's been like, oh yeah, Sleep Tokens, the summoning. It's like, who are you guys? Yeah. I'm not trying to be rude. I am not trying to be rude in any way or just like talk shit about the band. It's just like, where have they come from? In all honesty,
dude.
Not once this year had I heard about them. And now at the end of the year, it's like, oh, Sleep Token. And I'm like, who are you? Where did you come from? When did you guys even release something this year? Like, I'm not trying to be a dick. It's just, what is this popularity of Sleep Token? If you may know.
It kind of just came out of nowhere, to be honest. Because I started hearing about like the name Sleep Token pop up a bit earlier on, but I knew nothing about this band. I never even listened to Summoning, to be honest. It was one of those things that just kind of popped up. Do you guys want your bone or not? Do you guys want a bone? You want a bone? I have no idea. They want something.
They don't want to be thrown a bone.
They don't want to be thrown a bone. They just want to cause absolute chaos.
Yeah. No, like, okay, they're a band. I get it. And they do metal music.
They are a band.
I understand that.
They are a collective group of people.
Like, this is just what annoys me about metal. It's like, they just come out of nowhere and everyone's like, oh yeah, Sleep Token's awesome. It's like, who's this?
Who the fuck?
Yeah, exactly. Like, no offense, but have I gotten a chance to listen to Sleep Token yet? No. Will I by the end of the year? Probably. I'll probably finally just pull the trigger and say, you know what? Sleep Token. Let's do it. Let's play it. Why not?
I feel like they're a band that just with the hype, I feel like I'm a bit concerned about whether or not I should go into what they're doing, because if I do go in with the hype as it is, I feel like that is just going to spoil it for me. Like, I feel like if I go in to Sleep Token right now, I'll be expecting like the best of the best. And then I go into it, I'm like, what was that? Really? That's what the hype was about?
I'm sorry, but with a name like Sleep Token, you know what my expectation is?
Sleep. That?
Dog agrees. No, I'm expecting like just stoner like stoner.
From what I
metal.
understand, they are kind of like slower, I think. Maybe I think they're definitely a bit more of on the electronic side, I think, from what I hear. From what I've heard, at least.
But with a name like Sleep Token, I immediately went to, this is just another stoner band or stoner doom band or something like that. That's what I'm thinking. But no, if anyone on Instagram knows why Sleep Token just has taken
like if you've been
such an interest in almost every fucking metalhead's eye, please let me know.
Yeah, like if you've been listening to Sleep Token at all this year, please, like, let us know what the hype is about. And who knows, maybe we'll check it out.
Yeah, maybe.
But in the meantime, like, so if you haven't been listening to Sleep Token, what have you been listening to then?
A Finnish rapper named Karia.
That was a sentence, I think. What?
Yes. So
it was a string of words that combined to form some form of cohesion, but I understood none of it.
So there is this Finnish rapper called Karia, and he came out with a song called Cha Cha Cha. And it took all of Europe by storm back in June. And it just sounded like good metal music, but it wasn't really metal music. It was just some Finnish guy rapping in Finnish to like metal beats. So yeah. Again, I'm looking at the kid-friendly stuff, but now that I guess I'm on a platform where I can actually personally talk about what I personally have been listening to metal-wise.
Oh yeah. Well, like, you could talk, like, really doesn't have to be metal even, like just in general. I'm kind of curious to see where everybody's at.
Honestly, my rap this year is so weird because there's so much pop on there, and it's just thrown me off. And it's just, why? And it's like, oh yeah, that's right, my kid. But no, for Daddy Thrash, I'm not going to get that out of my head now.
Yeah.
I'm not. That's just
it's catchy.
It's going to stick with me for the rest of my life.
It is catchy.
So to properly start it off, because we are a metal-based community, the two of us, I have actually, my top artist this year from Spotify, which kind of surprised me, but looking back doesn't, is this Australian progressive metal band called Voyager.
Oh, I think I've heard of them.
Yes. So this year they came out and competed in a big song contest called Eurovision, which basically compiles of every single European nation, Israel and Australia, because the two countries are part of the European telecommunication network thing.
The European Union?
No, not
well,
Union.
I was going to say, I don't think Israel is part of the European Union.
It's Asian, and then Australia is Australia, but they have like, they got something connected to like European television.
Right.
Something. Anyways, so they ended up being represented because they had a cool song called Promise. And Voyager finished 9th in all of the 26 countries that got weeded out to compete in the big final. So Australia's metal band finished in the top 10.
Yeah,
Awesome.
I think a funny thing, you and I were actually talking about that on your show, I think.
Yes, we did talk about this on the Indie 1015 radio show, Thrashers Paradise, every Tuesday night from 9 to midnight.
Yeah, and that's because that was something that I think a lot of us, like you and I both, were kind of like going through the entire like winners list.
Yeah.
And we're just kind of like I don't think floored is the right word to use, but we were kind of going through wondering what the fuck is on this list.
Yeah. No, so this band came out with a new album that had Promise on it called Fearless in Love. And it's really fucking good. But personally, of all the Voyager albums I did hear, the one that really stood out for me was 2019's Colors in the Sky?
Something of that sort.
Yes, hold on. I will Spotify because it is in here. Jump back in. Yes. Oh, Colors in the Sun.
Colors in the Sun. Well, sun, sky.
Yeah.
I mean, is there a difference?
No, not really.
I think there might be a difference, solar speaking, but no.
It just, I found with Voyager, just their albums, because I like to listen to albums in their entirety.
Yeah.
And just, I found their music easy to listen to, really, really catchy, got hooked in really easily. All the songs are great. It's like, it's not too metal. Like they're like, honestly, for me, I can barely tell they're prog metal. Like I listen to them and I don't think, oh yeah, this is definitely a band like Dream Theater or like other prog
or Opeth.
No, they're just like, it's a good metal band from Australia that classifies as prog metal, but isn't really.
Hey, you know what? Like, who cares if like it's not like heavy prog?
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Because like it's prog. Like prog is prog, and you know what? That's the thing is like, even though like, because on that note of like, even it's not that heavy. Like you mentioned Dream Theater. Like Octavarium's really not that heavy in comparison to other albums. Like think about it. Which one is heavier, Octavarium or Train of Thought?
Train of Thought.
There you go. But you know what? Octavarium is still my favorite album of all time. I mentioned that in the last episode where I reviewed it as part of the Essentials album that you actually suggested, which, may I say, now that you are in person, that is not fair. That is my all-time favorite, and you fucking knew that.
Yeah, it's my favorite album, too, of all time.
Yeah.
How do you think this friendship started? It's because we both love Dream Theater's Octavarium. It has the right amount of heavy and not heavy, and it has just an amazing 24-minute song to end off the entire album. Yes.
Exactly, yes.
Yes, it sounds intimidating. Holy shit, 24 minutes to listen to one song. But may I remind you, Sleep have a fucking 60-minute song and a 15-minute song to consist of Dope Smoker, a 2-song album. So 24 minutes of your life isn't that bad. Not saying Dope Smoker is that bad. I've actually never heard it.
This went in a weird direction.
I'm sorry, but okay, because I'm now talking about you tell me, do you have the time and the mental capacity just to sit down and listen to an over hour long stoner metal song?
Well, it really depends, honestly, because like in comparison, at least to Octavarium, no. But for me, and this is something I mentioned in the last episode too, is like you've got to really do a great job with writing a long song to keep my attention. Like that's the thing is like as in comparison, at least I've never been able to get to grasp longer songs in the stoner metal genre, but that's not because of the slowness. If they can write a long song that is as engaging as for the listener, even at a slower pace, that fucking works, especially if you're have a bit of a help. But the thing is, from my experience at least, when it comes to like stoner or any of the sludge stuff, a lot of the time they're not doing that. No. I still remember this one song that was a closer for an album I reviewed back in 2018. I think it was the first review I did that year. I forget what the album was or who the band was, but they ended the album with a 10-minute song that was one riff.
Damn.
That's all, with like one small section in between in the middle, but then they went right back to that riff. And it was instrumental the entire time. There wasn't any top line. There wasn't any like changing aside from the center. It was just one riff. It was a good riff. Don't get me wrong. I think I remember saying like I like the riff, but guys, one riff is not a song. That would have pissed me off. Not pissed me off, but that would have like just had me skip to the next song if that was a 3-minute song. But this was like 10, 11 minutes of the same riff.
I mean, for me, I find it difficult to listen to long doom metal songs. Mm-hmm. Or like I get lost very easily when it comes to like doom metal songs that are like extremely unnecessarily long. Like there's this band from Tunisia called Omnination, and they have this song called Pale Horse. Or I don't remember the title off the top of my head, but it's like a 21, maybe 24-minute song. And it's just like...
That's long.
It's long and it's a lot. Like...
Yeah.
It's like... I just get lost because there's so much going on. Like you hear the singing and it's just like, okay. And then the singing stops and it's like, oh, this is just depressing because they're a funeral doom band. And you haven't heard funeral doom. If you think doom is depressing, listen to funeral doom because they add in a church organ.
And that's where the depression comes from. That's where my depression comes from. But But that's the thing is like, I agree with you 100% though. And that's like, there are a few instances, like there's a band called Slow that, which tells you everything you need to know right there. But they're not funeral doom, but they're like actually kind of funeral doom, but they're kind of like atmospheric symphonic mixed in too. So like it's some of the songs are longer and it's slow, but it is way more engaging than a lot of the funeral doom you'd come to find.
I'm going to say it's just the name alone.
I know, yeah.
Off. It pissed me off.
They were literally like, okay, like, yeah. But you know what? I ended up reviewing that album on the website when it came out. Like, not the album Slow. Slow was a band. But the album 7, I think it was. I have to double check it.
Slow 7.
Slow 7. 7 BPM. That is the album in a nutshell. No. But it was a good album. From what I remember. I didn't hate it. And But yeah, a lot of the slower stuff are better for me, at least in the background.
Yeah.
They're better for background music, sort of like lo-fi hip hop.
Yeah. I don't know what that is, but yeah.
Like you ever see like the meme of like the study girl on YouTube, the cartoon study girl that's like lo-fi hip hop. It's on YouTube. If you click it, it's like study music basically.
Oh, study music. Okay.
It's study music.
Okay. I personally have that hasn't come up on my feed. I get too many.
Yeah, it's one of those things that'll pop up if you like open up YouTube logged out or in incognito mode. Because like it's one of those things that's not going to pop up in your algorithm because you're not looking up lo-fi hip hop.
Yeah, no, my algorithm I don't like has just become very weird, especially now that I have a tiny human to take care of, and it's just all OnlyFans models. If I'm being like, I don't even search up OnlyFans accounts and on Instagram, and it's just my reels. It's like I get normal stuff.
Yep.
And then of course I get, oh, I'm stuck in the washer step, bro. It's like, why are you on my feed? I don't want this. I just want shit that's gonna make me laugh. Just give me dumbass guys being dumbass guys. There's the humor. There is the true comedy gold on Instagram, especially the anime guys, the anime boys. Those guys are hilarious. I don't watch anime, but those guys are hilarious.
Right. Yeah.
Especially the fact they got their teacher to like buy into it and like make anime jokes with them. Like that's
comedy.
good soup.
Good soup.
Good soup. I guess I should get back to answering your question about what I've been listening to.
That's the nature of our podcast. Like we've been like with us every time we get on the show together, that's always something that happens.
Yeah.
And that's just with like every time you come on the Metal Robot, every time I go on Thrashers Paradise, who knows what would happen if we had our own podcast. Can you imagine?
The pure insanity that would ensue. Please take this in, everyone. We had a radio talk break of just talking about the entirety of Marvel Cinematic Universe's Phase 4.
And I don't even think that's how it started either.
No. We segued into that. And then me being the diehard Marvel comic guy that I am, it's like, you know what, Tom? We're doing this. We're going to commit to doing a 20-minute talk break on every single project that came out for Phase 4.
There you go. Exactly. So yeah, that's what you've been listening to, yeah?
What have I been listening? This year as a whole, Electric Callboy.
Yeah,
I
of
think,
course.
Like from the time I heard Pump It last year to now, just listening to techno a bunch. It's just they're a good metal band that makes great music, and they are definitely a fun concert that I want to go see.
Oh, man.
They came to Northern America this year for the first time, along with other new continents to themselves. And yeah, they're coming back next year.
Oh, hell yeah. Yeah, I got to check that out because I got into them, I think, a little bit after you did. But with the song Techno Train and yeah, that one. But there was another one. I forget the name of it.
Chugga, 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 chugga. We're riding on the techno train.
Yeah.
Going for a ride. Yeah.
It was really good. But and also the other song is another one of the singles. I forget the name of it. But it was
the moves.
No, I don't know. I have no idea the name of the song, but it's like da 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 dun da 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 dun dun da da da. Like what was that? You know what I'm talking about though.
Dun da 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 da. Yeah, no, that's we got the moves. That's like the breakdown part. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
That's the part where they do the little thing and then they go da 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 da. Da, 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 da. Yeah, we got the moves. I know that for a fact.
That song was fucking banger. I did not realize that techno could actually go that fucking hard.
Yeah.
But then again, metal techno.
Yeah.
Tech metal? No, not tech metal.
No.
That is a genre already.
I think it's what, partycore? They might call it?
Yeah. Oh my God, that actually works way better as a descriptor.
Yeah, like I think I heard them call themselves that once, but who cares? They're a
It's
good
fucking
metal
awesome.
band.
That's all
They're
that
good
matters.
metal. Hypa is great. Mm-hmm. Like dog, but no,
Dog.
like Hypa is a great song. My it's funny
Yeah.
how I actually got hooked with Hypa. So my girlfriend at the time and I went to Edmonton last year. And we ended up staying with her brother for a week. And he has like 3 kids, his youngest being 2 at the time, loves Electric Callboy and loves the song Hypa. Now, there are multiple different versions of Hypa that have been recorded and that are out in the world. And it's funny because there's this one version by We Butter the Bread with Butter. Mm-hmm. And to the 2-year-old, he calls it Hard Hypa.
Hard Hypa.
And then there's this like folk metal version of Hypa that he calls Soft Hypa. And then there's just Hypa. So it is cute and hilarious. And that's how I got hooked with Hypa.
Nice.
Even though the album itself, it's not very long.
No.
From the Electric Callboy song side of it. It is just a couple of songs. And then they came out with one in like 2015.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, Crystals, I believe it's the album title. But yeah, it's an album. The album covers like just a guy wearing a bunny mask in a bathtub. And it's just early Electric Callboy doing their stuff. And it's
Sounds
good
about
too.
right.
So no, Electric Callboy was definitely up there. Yeah, I listened to those 2 a shit ton this year. In the later part of this year, I want to say around August, September, I finally bit the bullet and I tried Ice Nine Kills with Welcome to Horrorwood.
Ooh, okay.
And it was actually have you heard Ice Nine?
Yes.
Ice Nine Kills.
Yes.
Music?
I actually did an acoustic cover last Halloween. Not this past Halloween, but last Halloween of Stabbing in the Dark.
Did you really?
Yes, it was with me and a clone of Psycho Me. It's on my personal Instagram, TeamK715.
No, but so basically I got hooked on Welcome to Horrorwood and the Silver Scream, both albums. Both albums are great, and I got hooked with almost every song off of each album. I have my favorites that I particularly continually loop and listen to individually a lot. And the obvious ones made it to the Spotify Wrapped playlist, which did not surprise me at all.
No.
You know, you can tell partway through the year, you know which songs are going to be on your Wrapped.
Just by how much you listen to them.
Just by how much you listen to it. Yeah, like you can tell what your Wrap's going to end up being. You don't know what position they're going to be in.
But you know it's going to be there.
You know it's going to
what's
be
gonna
there. You know, you have a general idea of what craziness is going to be in the Wrapped. And I knew Ice Nine Kills was going to be there somewhere. Baroness's new album, Stone.
Oh, man. I just downloaded that recently. I haven't had a chance to actually listen to it.
I heard it once and I liked it. I thought it was very good. The obvious 2 songs were great and just I definitely need to listen to it again. That is for sure.
I need to hear it first time. but I've heard that it's really good.
It is. I think it's up there with Purple.
Yeah.
It's up there with Purple for being one of their best releases. Stones was definitely really good. So this band basically, to me, deserves more hype than Sleep Token do.
The band we didn't listen to?
Yeah, no. So Frozen Soul.
Never heard of them.
Frozen Soul is a Texas
Power metal?
No, death metal band.
Oh, okay.
Like traditional old school death metal.
Okay.
It is fucking awesome stuff. They did a big North American tour and had a lot of success. So much success that they're going to be touring North America next year with a Monomorph, Obituary, and Cannibal Corpse on a Monomorph's next big voyage through the continent. So big kudos to Frozen Soul. But no, their album Glacial Domination or Glacial Dominion. I gotta quickly check because I want to make sure I'm getting this album pronounced correctly.
Yeah. I don't know why I immediately thought power metal. I think it's because of the name.
Yeah.
Frozen Soul. It just sounds like...
Yes, Glacial Domination is the name of their 2023 release. It came out back in May.
Okay.
And I heard of them through a friend called Damien. He is the lead singer of a band called Thrashers based in Calgary. And Frozen Soul made their little pit stop in Calgary. And of course, as my good friend Damien does, he bought a lot of merchandise.
Yep.
Especially long sleeves. Long sleeves are a quintessential to, I guess, classic death metal fans. But no, this album, they had Matt Heafy
Really?
guest appear on 2 songs for this album. So yeah, they're a serious band. They also have an album called Crypt of Ice, which is very good too. I only heard it once, but I listened to Glacial Domination twice now, and they created something magical with it. Truly a great album that you should definitely check out and listen to. And their merchandise is top tier. They have a snowflake patch. No, in all seriousness, and it looks awesome. Like, if I start a new vest, I definitely want that Frozen Soul snowflake on that vest because it is too good. And they are actually, if you're a fan of like Obituary and kind of along the lines of that kind of death metal, you'll love Frozen Soul.
A bit of like techie mixed in with old school.
Mainly just old school, I'd say.
Okay.
It's very, very much rooted in old school death metal. And it's nice to hear because you don't have a whole lot of those kind of sounding bands anymore.
Right.
Because a lot of death metal bands have either strayed away from it or done some new subgenre of death metal that has come out that we're going to hear about in 5 years. Like super tech death, mega prog death, mega something. Like, there's too many death
Beta
metal.
tech death, alpha tech death, sigma tech death. Oh God, I don't want to know what sigma tech death is.
It's just Andrew Tate playing a guitar, screaming about how he's better than you, and you know
It's
it.
Andrew Tate metal.
Andrew Tate. It's just covering the Andrew Tate theme.
Exactly. Yes.
I found out what song that was this year.
Oh God.
Yeah, it's French.
Yeah.
Which makes sense. Kind of. I don't know. It's weird. Anyways, Fear of Fear, the new Spirit Box EP.
Oh, yes.
That one I had to listen to twice, but it is very good. Spirit Box once again outdid themselves with more amazing music from the small island of Vancouver
Yes.
Island, where they lay in Victoria. And their song Jaded, which is great. If you have yet to hear it, definitely do. But it is up for a Grammy. And they are my official vote to win for the Grammy Award this year for metal musicians, because Metallica doesn't need another one. Disturbed doesn't deserve it. And Ghost. And I forget who the other band is.
I have no idea. I did.
Please don't be Sleep Token.
I did a bit on the Grammys too, and I don't even remember who was up for it. I know Spearbox was, but that's interesting thing about Spearbox though, because it kind of brings up an interesting thing about
I figured it
Slipknot. Slipknot's up there. Yeah,
I didn't even know they came out with something this year or last year or whenever.
I'll be honest, I didn't I don't remember much of the Grammys. The only thing I do remember is that Olivia Rodrigo is up for Best Rock for some reason.
Who?
Exactly. No, but Olivia Rodrigo, she's the pop rock girl who ripped off Paramore.
Someone ripped off Paramore?
Yes.
Okay.
People listening know exactly who I'm talking about. I don't need to go further into that, but apparently she's up for a rock Grammy. It was like that's the thing. It's like I'm not gonna. I did an entire bit segment about the Grammys in an episode earlier this year about it and why we should stop caring. But you know what? Like, it is what it is. But you know what? In terms of any of them, yes, Spirit Box gets my vote. But it brings up a funny thing that I noticed is that this year we saw a lot more EPs compared to.
I just think that's just the way metal's going to go to nowadays. Because
yeah, you think it's going to go to EPs more than full albums?
I think I truly believe that because EPs take a lot less time to make. They just people don't have the same attention span as they did when you could just sit down and listen to a full like 8-10 song album. People don't want to sit down and listen to 8, 10, 12 songs.
Well, that's the interesting album. Because that's the interesting thing though. If that's the case, then why not just release singles?
It's gonna go to that eventually. Like,
I think bands are already kind of doing that though.
Yeah, like honestly, like Spirit Box, they've been around for a while now, and they have like so many different EPs, but only one full length. And the full length had like 5 songs off of their first EP. Like, it's not a bad thing, but it's just it caters to just getting more new music out
at a faster rate.
Yeah, but I think that's gonna come back and bite so many bands in the ass
by doing EPs.
Yeah, hear me out.
Okay.
Hear me out. This is my honest opinion. Full length should stay because it's more exciting and it gets more anticipation when a band takes 4, 5, 6 years to make a new album. Because now fans get that anticipation of new music and they're not like, oh, it's been 6 months. Where's this new song?
Right.
Like that. I think that's just the key thing. And that's what's just going to keep bands and get proper fanship. It's just those bands re-listening to those albums continuously and learning those songs.
Right.
Because it's like, you're not going to get the proper amount of time to truly soak in and marinate that new album that just came out if there's a new EP coming out the next year. Like, to me, it's going to diminish releases, especially if you're just doing a single a month or an EP every year. Like, to me, it doesn't make it as special releasing new music. Right. And that's like the key thing. Like, Blind Guardian released their new album, God Machine, and it is fucking phenomenal.
That's right. Well, that was this year, right?
That was this year, I do believe.
Holy shit.
This year or last year. I think this year for sure. But
time has been fuzzy, guys. Like, we're...
Yeah. But no, God Machine is fucking amazing. It is a great album. And that's their first release since like 2017 or 16.
Yep.
With like the Twilight of the God album song that was, I'm searching it up.
Yeah, and that's the thing, especially with Blind Guardian. If we're not going to get a Demons and Wizards album, Blind Guardian, I'll be fucking happy to go back to over and over and over again.
I think the Demons and Wizards
is done.
It's done.
It's done. If we're not going to get another one from them, then yeah, fucking because Blind Guardian, I'll be honest here, I'm a bit of a poser. I learned about Blind Guardian through Demons and Wizards, if I'm being completely honest here. But you know what? At the end of the day, I'm glad I did, though. Because, yeah, if we're not going to get another Demons and Wizards album, which we're definitely fucking not, for good reason.
Demons and Lizards is probably done.
It's done. It is done. It is done. But, hey, you know what? A good run, 3 albums, 3 fucking fantastic albums. You know what? Blind Guardian, fuck yeah. Especially with that last album. Like, that was fucking sick.
I figured. Yeah, no, like, so from 2015 to 2022. It came out September of last year, but...
Right. But you know what, still, like, that was still a fantastic album. A fantastic addition to the Metal Collective.
There was a very long space between albums, and, like, just... the wait was worth it because God Machine was fucking amazing.
Yeah.
And now they're coming to Toronto next year. May 9th at the Rebel.
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah, I was gonna talk to you about that if you want to go see Blind Guardian.
Yeah, I'm down. Fuck yeah.
It's $60 a ticket. Like, I'm sorry, but they're a band that do not come to North America like every other year, like Amon Amarth.
And Powerwolf.
And no, Powerwolf only has come once so far. And I wish I did go to see them in Montreal.
You know what's funny? They when they announced their North American tours, that made news.
Yeah.
Like that was news. That was being talked about. That was like on magazines and blogs and everything of that sort. Like, oh my God, Powerwolf's coming to North America.
Yeah.
That shows how fucking great they were to begin with.
Yeah.
It's great they are.
Yeah. And we missed it.
I know.
I even called you the day they announced they were coming to Montreal. Like, Tom, they're fucking coming. Tom, they're fucking coming. But again, I had other priorities that needed to take importance to than going to Montreal to see Powerwolf.
Yeah, and that was this year too, right?
Yeah, that was back in February.
Oh yeah, no, I was not in any shape to go anywhere. Long story there, but anyways.
Long story short.
Long story short, fuck
Money.
Everything. Yeah.
Money. But no.
That too. But
Blind Guardian, I made a promise to myself that I would at least attempt to try and go to one concert next year.
Yeah.
Because as of today, day of recording, I have gone to no concerts in 2023.
Yeah, this year's been kind of a dry spell.
It is. It's the absence of concert going. But see, here's the issue now, because in May, Electric Callboy are coming back to Toronto. Mm-hmm. So it's the big, for me, I'm picking one.
Right.
Do I want to go see Blind Guardian or do I want to go see Electric Callboy? Electric Callboy would probably be a lot of fun, but Blind Guardian, when will be the next time they even decide to do a North American tour?
Exactly.
Let alone come back to Toronto.
Right.
So I'm leaning heavily towards Blind Guardian because, again, for all we know, hell, this could be the last time they ever come to Toronto.
We never know.
We never know. Like Sepultura has announced an 18-month goodbye tour. They're hanging it up.
Yeah, and they'll probably, and knowing how farewell tours go, you said 18 months, right?
Yeah,
so they'll be
18
done in like 5 years.
No, I
5, maybe 10.
Okay.
If they're gonna pull a Kiss, they're gonna stick around.
Metal bands, when it comes to retirement tours, a lot, like the true metal bands, they keep their word to it. They
may extend a little bit. Like I know Slayer, they extended it a couple times. I think
they did. But Slayer, like they announced it 2018, and they were done by 2019.
Yeah, I'm glad I got to see them before they did.
Me too.
One thing I regret though. It's not being in that fucking pit.
I don't regret that. What pisses me off still, and this is the ultimate concert piss off that I will forever keep in my heart, is when I saw Slayer in Ottawa and I missed the entirety of Cannibal Corpse's set.
No.
Yes, except for Hammer Smashed Face. That was the only song I got to hear. Because of Ottawa traffic. Fuck Ottawa traffic. If you are stuck in Ottawa traffic, like going home traffic off of work, sucks in Ottawa. If you thought Toronto was bad for rush hour,
I mean, it is bad.
Ottawa's fucking worse. They start at 1.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Like we didn't even get to. I went with my stepdad and good buddy, and we didn't even get to the hotel. No. That's how bad traffic was. We were on our way to the hotel, and it's like, honestly, I think we need to turn around and just go to the fucking show.
Yeah.
And that was the best course of action.
Yeah. All right. Well, on that note, we're still gonna keep going here. For those listening, we're doing an Instagram live here, where we're doing a sort of our own sort of Spotify Wrapped here that's being recorded for the Metal Robot podcast. It's me and Collin, and we're talking about what we've been listening to this year. And yeah, we got into we kind of got sidetracked there, but we were talking about Spirit Box.
Yeah, Spirit Box
to go back. Yeah, I don't know how we got sidetracked to talk about Cannibal Corpse from there, but
Yeah, no, Spirit Box's The Fear of Fear EP. If you have yet to hear it, definitely go check it out on Spotify. It is worth the listen. And I'm going to stop there because there's been so much I've been listening to. Oh, wait.
No, yeah.
Before I give it to you, there is one album I do really want to call out. I was listening to it earlier today, and it is fucking phenomenal. In my eyes, it is the best album of the year. It is Cataclysm's Goliath.
Ooh, yes.
That album is fucking great. Cataclysm, their past 3 releases, have released a banger after a banger after a banger. And I think Goliath is the creme de la creme of the 3. It is great from right off the bat to the end. And my personal favorite track is The Redeemer. And that song fucking annihilates. It is great. So for me personally, that to me is like the album of the year from all bands. Like Goliath by Cataclysm is definitely an album that you need to listen to from this year. If we take anything away from metal music in 2023, it should be Cataclysm's Goliath.
Yeah, 100%. I agree with you on that one.
So, Tom.
Yes,
what
sir.
What have you been listening to?
Oh, goody.
Only took an hour for me to ask.
Yeah, I know, right? We've been recording for an hour. And, worth it. So, for me, again, I haven't been listening to a lot this year. At least nothing that I've kept coming back to. A lot of the stuff I kept coming back to was like older stuff I've like more nostalgia and like it just feels good to listen to again because early in my metalhead journey. But in terms of releases, of course, Spirit Box is up there. Cataclysm I listened to a couple times, but I would still agree that's a fantastic fucking album.
It is.
I will say, just to kind of deviate a little bit, Avenged Sevenfold, no. Just no. That new album. Here's the thing. It took me a long time to even get around to reviewing that album, not just because my upload schedule is complete garbage, but because it took me so long to even finish the album. Like, that has never happened with an Avenged album with me before. It
was that rough.
It was like it's experimental prog, but on the experimental side to the point where it's like, okay, let me break. The best way I can sum this up is that they cannot finish a song.
Avenged Sevenfold is trying to be prog?
Well, they've been doing prog for a while now. Like, they've had prog tendencies for a long time, like even all the way back to Nightmare.
Why? They were fine with like the way they were going. They didn't need to add prog.
I mean, they were kind of like skipping Hail to the King. They've already kind of like prog tendencies, but the stage was where they started really leaning further into it. And that I was fine with. That was actually my favorite album from 2016. But this was like prog on cocaine and Adderall.
So what? The Rev leaves Earth and they decide to go prog.
I mean, yeah, basically. No, but like,
I don't mean to be a dick, but
no, but like the thing is, the reason why I said like they cannot finish a song is because this album has like multiple songs where they like input 20 different songs of different styles throughout the entire thing, and they never finish a single one. Like the best example is a song "We Love You," where it's like it's a song with 6 different song ideas and never any point when I finish it. And even as somebody with ADHD, especially, where you try to, like, I will admit the jarring nature of it kept my attention, but not for good reason. Even I was listening to it going, why can't you finish a song? Why can't you finish a song?
So essentially, not much has changed with Avenged Sevenfold.
This is a new development, actually, for me at least. But it was one of those things because they've had full songs. Like, say what you want about a lot of, especially the later stuff. Those are developed songs.
I mean, City of Evil is probably
hands down, yes,
is still their best album. But
yes. Even later, even when they started leaning more heavily into prog with the stage, that they were able to finish songs. You got a full composition.
Yeah.
Like full ideas fleshed out. And honestly, great drum work as well. I was kind of skeptical about that when I heard about it. But this album was like, first of all, yeah, that, but also you can tell M Shadows is done. Like he cannot sing anymore. Like he can hit the notes, but you can tell he is in pain. The dude cannot hold it up at that range anymore, dude. It hurts to listen to, like when that, but it was just, but overall, like all that and so much more combined, it just became a hard listen. So I technically listened to that a lot, but only because I couldn't finish the whole fucking album. And when I did, I was like, I don't plan on coming back to this again. Like, not because I hated it, but because I have no real desire to go back to it.
Avenged Sevenfold. Tiniest little bit in a star. Just enough so that you can actually see, oh, hey, there's coloring in the star.
Yes. That's the thing. This album was like what a lot of people think Adderall is in music form. I actually told a friend of mine, the GJ, who's a musician, because he sent me the link to the song "We Love You" and asked, "What is this?" And I said, "An ADHD, a musical interpretation of an ADHD nightmare." And I stand by that.
Sounds like Angus the prize-winning Hog was a better song than that.
Oh, it was. Yeah, it still is. Yeah, that's fucking awesome. I love that. I love that song. So actually, yeah, in terms of what I have been listening to, that. I'm listening to a lot of the Toxards. They've been releasing some great singles this year. There was, of course, Angus the Prize-winning Hog, which is a big hit. But they also like the Doom Bop, I think was the song name.
See, I've only listened to Angus the Prize-winning Hog.
Yeah.
I haven't diverged into other songs.
Definitely do. Like it's not as metal.
No,
but you know what? Like it's still great, like comedy rock kind of stuff.
Metalheads love comedy rock.
Yeah, and these guys fucking hit it on the head.
Fucking Psycho Stick.
I'm still proud.
Steel Panther, like the comedies.
I'm still proud I was able to sneak in Psycho Stick onto to Hamilton radio. I was able to sneak that in because we were talking about coffee, and of course. They have a coffee song.
Yes.
And it's the perfect representation. So I played it and they said nothing about it other than they loved it and it matched.
You know what you should do? And whenever there's a talk break about beer, just add in the clip from their song, "Beer is good, beer is good, beer is good."
I definitely will. Because so far, because I've had to diversify. Anytime we talk about beer or alcohol, we've been playing Whiskey in the Jar.
Aww. I mean,
it's a good song.
Don't get me wrong.
The Metallica cover specifically.
Is that the only cover you do?
There's other covers?
Okay, there are other covers.
Are there?
Yeah. It's like one of the most covered songs.
That's true. Yeah.
I think AC/DC have covered it. Maybe U2.
Yeah, like I got to diversify a bit because that's the main one, my main go-to, especially if I don't really know where else to go. But yeah, I'll keep that in mind.
Surprisingly, Ailstorm never covered Whiskey in the Jar.
I know, right? That's a missed opportunity.
Like, that's just great pirate metal marketing right there to cover Whiskey in the Jar. Unless they have. I have to look into it. I have to look into it too. Because I know they covered an old, like a Nova Scotian popular folk song called Barrett's Private Tears. Mm-hmm. Now, me growing up with a stepmother from North Sydney, Cape Breton, I've listened to folk music, like some good old folk music, and it's very good stuff. There's this one band from Hamilton we like called Poor Angus, and they covered the classics, Paddy Murphy, and so many other great hits, especially Barrett's Private Tears. But the thing is, why wouldn't you have a version of it, Ailstorm? Like, you named your fucking last album, I think from this year, 7 from of a 7 from.
You're missing an opportunity here, guys.
Actually, now I gotta Google it now.
We gotta figure this out. Yeah.
I'm sorry that I keep pulling out my phone. Ailstorm has not covered Whiskey in a Jar.
That is a missed opportunity.
But yet they remix their songs to have dog vocal lyrics.
Missed opportunity, guys. Missed opportunity.
Yeah, because that was a thing with the one album.
Did you end up hearing that new Death Clock album?
Yes! Death Album 4 is fucking awesome!
It's awesome, dude.
It's awesome! Mermaider 3 is fucking awesome!
Dude,
it's so good.
I'm
The dogs
so-
are excited.
Yeah, I am so glad they finally came out with a new album. How long has it been since 3?
Okay, I'll pull out the phone.
Yeah, because holy shit, that's
Can I be honest with you? I keep forgetting about 3 ever existing because it was that that was the one Death Clock album I just could not get into.
I mean, I don't think there were a lot of big hits off that one. I think that was also when the show was winding down, like Metalocalypse. Yeah. I think that's when the show was starting to wind down a little bit.
Okay, are we ready? Are we ready?
Drum roll, please.
Death Album 3 came out 11 years ago.
Oh, it's been that long. Yeah, so this one was long awaited, and you know what? Well deserved. I'm glad we got it, because holy crap, it's really good.
And of course, I don't know how you heard about Death Album 4, but for me, it was hearing the song Erotic Desecration.
Yes.
That's the song title. It's the second track off of the album.
I heard about it because I was keeping an eye out on like the releases anyways, trying to see what I can find, but also because it was because we already know Metalocalypse has a movie coming out at some point. Like they're working on a movie. It did come out?
Yep.
I completely missed that.
Army of the Doomstar, which is out right now. And you can also listen to the original motion picture soundtrack off of Spotify.
Yes. But that's the thing is like I was keeping an eye on releases and that's how I heard about that. But I completely missed the movie. I have to go find it after we're done here.
So this is what I find funny on Spotify. They put for the album, Army of Doomstar original motion picture soundtrack. You might also like the Jedi Survivor official playlist. That's the very first thing off of it. But no. Yeah.
What?
They have one single.
Oh, yeah.
And it's I Ejaculate Fire.
Nice.
Off of Death Album 3.
Nice.
I don't even have Death Album 3 saved.
I mean,
okay, I'll say.
Do a lot of us. But you know what? That's an album that I was listening to quite a bit since it came out. That and actually, since you brought up the Jedi thing, a lot of like metal covers of songs from like sci-fi and fantasy shows, like Star Wars, Lord of the Rings. Like, there's a fucking I forget the name of the guy because I just found it today, but there's a cover of the Nazgul from like. Have you seen Lord of the Rings?
No. How to break the internet? Yeah,
dude. One of these days, if you're not working, you and I are booking off 11 hours of our day, and we're watching the full trilogy, dude.
That's like
the extended edition.
That's almost a full shift for me.
Did I stutter?
No, just
we're doing that, bud.
Because you vacation,
taking a vacation day. No, but like stuff like that. So a lot of like just metal covers of stuff like that, or even like non-metal covers, not even metal covers, like, or covers in general. But one I was also getting into listening to again, just out of like, it's an old thing. But do you remember back in the day, Super Smash Bros. Brawl?
Yeah, I played it.
The main theme, I've been playing that while driving to work. Because it's fucking,
that song is fucking fire.
That is the song to get you all hyped.
See, for my Switch, when I played my Switch, it's I don't have it at my house right now. It's at my it's where my daughter lives. Oh yeah, so my kid's a daughter.
Oh yes.
Breaking news.
Daddy Thrash.
Daddy Thrash has a little girl, yeah.
She'll be destroying the pit pretty soon. Don't worry.
I don't know. We'll wait and see. But no, like for the new Smash Bros game, the most recent one, I will change like one of the. I will pick specific songs for each like form or each map, and I do the Smash Brawl theme
because it's so good
for the Smash specific maps.
Yeah,
not the like for the Green Hill, I do Sonic Heroes theme because that is fucking great. Then for the Mega Man track, I do the one theme where it's like Power Glove covered that track too.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, the Smash Brawl theme is fucking legendary. It is a quintessential, I guess, video game song.
Oh my God.
It's up there with a bunch of the greats. Like another key one is Cynthia's boss battle music from Pokemon Diamond and Pearl. You just hear that piano and you get anxiety right off the bat.
Yeah.
Like,
speaking of video game soundtracks, though, the Doom soundtrack, 2016.
Doom, yes,
dude.
I haven't played Doom, but the memes go stronger than the game. I
haven't played it either. I've seen videos of people playing it, but no matter what, like regardless, I gotta play the game at some point. But the soundtrack
is so fucking
from
great.
the 2016 one specifically, though. I have not heard much about the soundtrack for the more recent one, Doom Eternal, but all I've heard about it is the bad shit.
Fuck yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Now, but talking about video games, GTA 6 fucking blowing up the internet and making me play a shit ton of GTA 5 where I just run over people and I get killed for no fucking reason.
Yeah.
Like, what is the purpose of, like, if I leave a player alone, but they just kill me randomly, like, what is your purpose, dude? I left you alone.
To kill.
Like, if I pissed you off, okay, I understand why I deserve to die, but like if I'm just doing my own thing, which is just me just running people over and robbing stores and just building up banks just to buy more clothes or ammunition,
right?
Like I'm not causing any harm.
No, of course not.
But it is what it is. Who fucking cares?
Moving away from video games for a moment, going back to metal. The new Blackbriar album.
Yeah, I haven't heard it yet.
Dude, it's really good. Like, how much do you know of Blackbriar?
Shit. I remember the 2 EPs. Like the early, like the
yeah, like the song Until Eternity was like my introduction to them.
I love that EP, and I heard the EP after that one, but
this one, the best way I described it when I reviewed it was that it's essentially, how like the fairy tales compare from when you compare the old original to Disney and how there's a huge stark difference.
Yeah.
So this is, and the old ones, the originals are just way darker.
Yes.
So Blackbriar is kind of like what you would picture the music being if the originals were written by sociopaths. Like it's really dark fairy tale fantasy sounding.
Not Nightwish sounding, Blackbriar sounding.
Exactly. And that's the thing is like a good example of the song I keep going back to is a song called Bloody Footprints in the Snow, which is about the Wendigo.
That sounds fucking awesome.
It's a really good. I think that might actually be the heaviest song off of that album.
You don't even need to tell me what this is about. Just the fucking title.
Yeah.
I guess I should listen to this before I listen to Sleep Token.
It all comes back to Sleep Token. You think if we say Sleep Token enough times, this podcast will get boosted?
I think
we're gonna get more listens just because we keep saying Sleep Token.
Yeah.
So flipping it back, Blackbriar.
Yes, Blackbriar.
That's really good stuff. I actually talked to them for the first time this year.
Yes, I saw that. I saw that you got the chance to interview them. I'm kind of jealous.
I was geeking out. I told them this. I was geeking out because I first discovered them in college.
Yeah.
And I've been listening to them since. And then I was just shooting my shot. I found their email on the dark webs, I think. No, it was on the website. But I just sent an email out, and next thing you know, I'm in contact with the representative at Nuclear Blast.
They're with Nuclear Blast?
I think so, yeah.
Oh, good for them.
Yeah.
No, well,
and got set up from there. I was surprised.
Not to show our age difference, but Tom might have heard them in college. I actually heard of them when I was in grade 11.
Yeah,
so high school. Mm-hmm. But again, we're not that much.
No, because like you were 2000.
Yeah, I'm 2000. What year were you?
97.
Oh, 3 years.
It's not much of a difference because like you were already like you came to college, like you were in college.
When I went to college, you were year 2.
I was a year above you.
Yeah.
In terms of when we applied.
Yes.
But yeah, no, because I heard about them specifically. I remember this because I was doing a Valentine's Day special for the Metal Robot radio show.
And you played Until Eternity.
Yes, because I did a Google search for romantic metal songs or love metal songs. And I must say, Pig Destroyer has a great Valentine's Day song. You know which one I'm talking about.
Fuck. No, I don't.
It's Girl in the Slayer Jacket.
Nope.
It's fucking great. Actually, I love it.
My go-to metal Valentine's Day song is always "Love You to Death" by Typo Negative.
Okay.
It's a perfect blend of gothic eeriness and just like "Let Me Love You to Death," and also Peter Steele having the voice of a fucking like a fucking
of God.
Yeah, basically
of God on antidepressants.
Oh fuck! Not even that. Just like the fucking.
I'm sorry, that's fucked up.
The guy could barely. The guy could not say a single word, but if he says a word, women just go, huh.
They go, huh.
He would be a great voice actor if he was still alive.
Yeah.
Couldn't you imagine that?
Mm-hmm.
Fucking Peter still being Joe Swanson. Giving him that much deeper of a voice.
Exactly. Holy shit. Trying to think. Apart from that, again, not a lot from this year, to be quite honest. There was that I've been listening to. Like Blackbriar was a main one I kept coming back to, but a lot of the other stuff was like just kind of the stuff that younger metal me would be listening to as well.
Yeah. Like I'm in the same boat as you. Like I was listening to a lot of older stuff too that I re-listened to Jom Viking for the first time in years, and that was my first ever Monomorph album.
I will say there was because I started listening to a squeak in the microphone. I started listening to a lot more recently in terms of well, first of all, there's a lot of like Christmas metal. So I've got a Twisted Christmas loaded up. I've also got, there's a singer on Instagram I've been following called Lyric Noel. I don't know if you follow her, but she did like a cover of This Is Halloween, which is a great one. But she also has a great cover of Carol of the Bells and just released.
Yeah. My dad sent me her. My dad sent me.
And just did a fucking banger of a cover of Silent Night.
That'd make a great Doom song.
It's not Doom sounding, but it has that kind of sound. But I will say there was what was it? Oh yeah, I'm pulling up here. Horrendous released an album this year, and it's like if you are into like old school death metal mixed in with prog and blackened, holy crap! Like it's a 38-minute album. I listened to the whole thing like recently on the way to work, and it is fantastic.
Horrendous.
Yes.
Horrendous is the name of the band.
It is not a horrendous name. It is horrendous.
Memorable for sure.
Oh, yes.
Hey, they popped up.
Yes. They are actually like, I think, like they're not exactly new. Like this is way later on in their career, I think. But holy crap.
Earliest album is The Chills from 2012. But see, they started to gap out their albums because it went from 2012 to 2014, 2014 to 2015, then 2015 to 2018, and now 2018 to 2023.
Yeah, so this one I remember hearing because this ended up on a best of the year list from Rocked with Luke. He put it on there because this was an album that people were hyped for. Like I'd only just heard. You just look it up, Sleep Token now.
3 million followers.
But yeah, horrendous. Like they
What the fuck? It's an hour and 3-minute album.
Whoa.
And it came out in May.
It came out in May.
It came out in May.
Well, we got to check it out later then, I guess. Maybe. But so that was something. But yeah, Horrendous was a great addition to the catalog because I was not expecting, especially with a lot of, if it's not like Opeth, Cannibal Corpse, or Fallujah, or trying to think of other death metal bands I do listen to a lot of, or Cataclysm, then it's not a lot of death metal I can get into per se. Because a lot, for me especially, if there's no like hook, I guess, or something to latch onto to keep me engaged, it can become a bit of a bore. But this album, holy crap, it kept my attention the entire time, and it kept me engaged the entire time.
I listened, like, I don't have that problem as you. Like, I can tell just from one listen through of the album if I'm gonna continue listening to it or if I want nothing to do. Like, there have been times where I've stopped listening to an album after one song.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, like, for me, like, this album cover for this Horrendous album looks fucking amazing.
Yes, for those who have no idea what we're talking about, so the new album is Ontological Mysterium is the name of the album. It just came out this year. It is fantastic. If you are into, like, kind of like thrashy, blackened death metal, proggy goodness, like, it's really good. Get a chance to listen to it.
Okay, there's a 7-minute song, and it counteracts with a 1-minute track.
The entire album, I think, is like only 38 minutes long.
See, that's manageable.
Yeah.
See,
and that's the thing. It's like it's not prog for the sake of showing off. It's actually like it's actual. It's not even. I wouldn't even consider it prog. It's got prog tendencies.
Yeah.
It's got prog. It's got a bit of that prog DNA. But this is like death and blackened death trash all the way through. So that's an album I got into only really recently.
Okay, recently.
But that's been an album I've kept coming back to. I was like, holy crap, this is like really good. Why am I really into this?
Actually, speaking of stuff I'm really into, so to go back to video games, NHL 23. So it's a big deal because every year they come out with a new songs that are going to be in the game, yada, yada, yada. This year, there was so much hard rock and metal variety.
Dude, yeah.
Like, Muse, Gojira, Motionless in White.
Gojira in NHL? Holy crap.
NHL. Like, well...
oh, wait, hold on. How later day Gojira are we talking? Because...
No. Like, this was a song they wrote for the game.
Yeah, like it's still surprising Gojira, but I'm kind of not surprised that they didn't pick like something like heaviest song in the universe or heaviest matter in the universe.
Our Time Is Now.
Yeah.
For NHL 23.
Yeah, because like it's not surprising that they would have gone for later day Gojira, especially a new one like that they wrote for the game, and that they didn't go for like the earlier stuff. But at the same time, it's like still Gojira on a video game soundtrack.
That's not even it. There's still more, like A Day to Remember.
Day to Remember.
Coheed and Cambria.
Wait, Coheed and Cambria?
Yeah. Coheed and Cambria. Ghost.
Cambria, yeah.
Highly Suspect.
Yeah.
Like Korn.
Dude, like, okay, I don't know how long ago this one was because I do remember playing one of the NHL games from back in the day. Shinedown, yeah. They don't shy away from like the rock side, but I remember like years ago, the one song that stuck out to me as like this is from that game was when you're in the start menu and they just start playing Billy Talent, the song Red Flag.
Yeah, they strayed away a lot from
like the
metal. Like, okay,
well, Billy Talent's not metal, but yeah,
like the rock and metal part.
Mm-hmm. But still, like that's what I'm thinking. Because I know they are not shying away from like rock, but I'm surprised at how much metal is in that.
Like, and the best song, in my opinion, is Muse. Like, it's off of the album Will of the People. It's their song Kill or Be Killed.
Oh yeah, this is the new song, right? The one that's like the most apparently most metal Muse song, which is really good. I really like that.
I mean, they have some old, like Korn's Forgotten.
Yes.
Which was out, 2022. So it's a lot of newer stuff.
Yeah.
But like, I was impressed with the variety of rock metal options this year compared to previous years. Because previous years, they really just went with the rap. And like, I'll be honest, when they released, I think 21, they had, was it Royal Blood's Trouble Coming? That was a good song.
Yeah.
That was a nice song to hear. It was just catchy. It had a nice beat and all that. It was just,
I mean, that is Royal Blood in a nutshell, though.
yeah.
Yeah.
But no, like as a metalhead, it is really nice just to hear those heavier options.
Oh, 100%.
Like even the first time I played NHL 23 with my buddy from Cape Breton, we heard it and I'm like, holy shit, this is actually awesome. Then the next song came and it's like, holy shit, it's just like, what? So much options.
Exactly. No. Oh man. Oh, actually, there's another thing that I remember that I have been listening to a lot of.
What?
Do you know
the Muffin Man?
The Muffin Man?
The Muffin Man!
The one who lives on Drury Lane?
Who else? Sorry, I had to.
No, it's perfect. Boy, what? I have no idea if that's the face of I don't know or what the fuck are you about to say, Tom?
Is that seriously the band name?
No. So what this is the
okay.
This is a producer's side project kind of thing where he does, it's not even metal that he does primarily. It's essentially SpongeBob AI.
Oh, the secret formula.
You know what I'm talking about. Yeah. He's as soon as he went straight to doing Plankton, because before that he was like doing SpongeBob. It was like kind of like indie kind of like, but it's all like the guy is producing everything as a musician. Like it's all recorded, it's all performed by him. It's just using a voice filter for the characters. As soon as he went to Plankton with Plan Z, holy crap, that was fucking killer. I was surprised.
Yep. That song
went harder than it had any fucking right to.
It was like the Burger King song, man. Just once you heard it, you got hooked to it.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't a Whopper, 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 Junior, Double, Triple, Whopper. It was just the secret formula. But
Will be mine soon enough. Yeah.
Yeah, but not in Chad Kroger's voice, but in Plankton's voice.
Yeah. And then he
Plankton covering fucking photograph.
Yeah. I'm not even going to attempt that. But
I can't do Plankton.
No, I can't do Plankton either. But you know what? Like there's a second song that he did with Plankton.
No.
Yeah. It's and this one is, I think, I don't want to say it went more metal because it's more of like a slower kind of song. It's not a ballad, but it's got a bang and breakdown. It's got a catchy chorus. There's something more along the lines of like, what's the best comparison I can bring it towards? It's almost like if you like Spirit Box, you'll like it. I don't know. It's got a sort of like, it's clearly inspired by like Octane Core, like modern metal core.
That is such a random transition from we were just talking about Plan Z to now just
Neon Tide. Yeah, Neon Tide is sort of, it's way more melodic, but
Neon Tide
is the song name. Yeah. I'm playing it for you once we're done here. It is actually a fan-fucking-tastic song.
I got a brilliant idea for a song they could do with Plankton. Just hear me out. Just hear me out.
Okay.
Take Peaches, but make it about his wife, Karen.
Karen. I love you. Yeah. Karen. I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah. Oh, Peaches also was a big thing this year.
Yeah.
Peaches and I'm Just Ken, which were probably two of my favorite meme songs of the year.
Actually, yeah, this year was also, this was the year of Barbenheimer.
Yeah.
Just to get on that tangent for a second. Did you end up seeing both?
No, I did not see. Have you seen both?
I didn't see Barbie.
You saw Oppenheimer?
I saw Oppenheimer with my dad.
How was it? I heard
it was dense. Like it's a 3 hour. No, I don't mean that badly. It's a great movie, but it's a 3 hour like drama, historical drama kind of thing. So with more sex scenes than I thought there was going to be.
Okay, so see, for me,
which was definitely an odd thing to see when my dad is right next to me watching the movie. We did not expect freaking Oppenheimer to be a player.
See, the memes I saw of it at the beginning were it was called Sloppenheimer.
I mean, yeah.
So
I mean, yeah. I am not going to contest that. Still, I got to show you Neon Tide, dude.
Yeah,
I will show you after we're done here. But that's kind of where we've been at. I mean, there's not a lot of like. We talked about this when we started recording a couple hours ago, I think.
To the beginning of this video, or podcast, yes, we discussed how the fuck did Sleep Token get popular.
Yeah, that's the thing. We started off with that too. It's like, but again, we didn't listen to a lot this year, and Sleep Token was definitely not one of them. They still came out of nowhere.
Yeah, they did. That's an hour and 3 minutes.
You know what? That'll be the title of this podcast. Where the fuck does Sleep Token come from?
You know what you should do?
I'll turn this into a TikTok. I got TikTok recently.
Yes, just make it a clip of all the mentioning of Sleep Token.
Yes, it'll be a compilation.
Every second of Sleep Token just dedicated in a tiny little TikTok, and we'll tag them in it. And if they themselves can tell us how they got popular in 2023.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think they'll have a good answer for that though, because I asked Blackbriar like why Until Eternity took off when I was interviewing them, and they said, "I don't fucking know, dude. It just happened." We don't know. If anybody can tell us so we can replicate it, please tell us. I
mean, it's always just a random song that takes off.
With Sleep Token, though, I don't know what the fuck happened.
The Summoning,
yeah. Well, the album, yes, but also how?
How? Like,
yeah. So that's our homework. We will listen to Sleep Token. We will listen to Neon Tide by Boy What. I will book off a vacation day, and so will you, for the Lord of the Rings trilogy. Unrelated, but we are doing that.
So
that's a lot of homework.
Yeah, but here's my thing. Do we just hold off on listening to Sleep Token and make the reaction
just buy the flags?
No, not even that. Just like that is our we genuinely give our very first reaction of Sleep Token just during that video of just us listening to the song.
Yeah.
I think that's
what the plan is. Yeah,
we just hold off and then we just make a big deal of listening to The Summoning by Sleep Token. In all honesty, I'm kind of disappointed it's not a stoner metal band or a stoner rock band.
Yeah,
it doesn't even make Divorced Dad's playlist. Oh my god.
Well. Either way, we've got a lot of fun stuff to look forward to in 2024. And you know what? Even though 2023 has been 2023, and that's all I'll say about it, 2024 is around the corner. And
can 2024 take me higher? Damn.
It won't. But you know what? We'll see. Who knows? Maybe it will take you higher.
I mean, Creed's making a comeback tour next year.
Yeah. That's a thing.
Creed.
Oh, man. So that's, yeah. Well, with 2023, hopefully in our rear views, 2024, man.
And hopefully it's not just 2020 part 4.
Well, Collin, thank you so much for joining me to wrap up 2023 for this episode of the Metal Robot Podcast. And holy shit, I've got a lot of material to look through here. Thank God this episode's not coming out tonight.
You got some time to edit, pick out what's good, pick out what's not good, get rid of all the great stuff.
Keep it as blackmail, and keep it as blackmail. Keep it in a vault and a key and lock and key, and
the Roman Empire will rise once again.
Yes,
because Rome is the topic of 2023 for all the males. Hail Roman Empire.
Caesar Part 2, everybody.
And then we'll give a review of Roman-inspired metal band EXTRO.
Yeah, dude!
Featuring lead vocalist of fucking Cataclysm, because that's his other band.
Yeah, dude. 2024 is going to be fun. Collin, thanks for joining me on the Metal Robot Podcast. And whether it's on the Metal Robot Podcast or any secret projects we might or may not be working on for the future, I can't wait to...
Yeah.
Can't wait to have you back on and raining chaos from here till eternity.
Thank you, Tom, for having me once again on the Metal Robot Podcast. I love coming on here, and I always make time to do this because it is extremely fun and makes me not feel crazy. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, you know the drill. I am obviously Collin Sterling of Thrashers Paradise. And if you have yet to subscribe or follow us on either Instagram, YouTube, or Facebook, please give us a chance. We promise, or I promise, to not let you down.
Yes, and your links will be down in the podcast description. So give everyone, if you have not checked out Thrashers Paradise, do so. It's worth a follow. And see you in 2024, my dude. Woo!
You just listened to MRP, the Metal Robot Podcast.
All right, that wraps it up for this episode as we head towards the doors. Thanks again to Collin Sterling for joining us on the show. In the next episode, we're going to be chatting with Dusk and Bacterial Husk. They are two of the interviews I promised we would do in this episode. I think I got a bit carried away. I was going to do them all into one, but that would just be way overwhelming for me to edit, so we're going to split them up a bit. But that's coming up in the next episode. Should be out in the next couple of days. In the meantime, thanks for listening to the podcast. You can follow the show on the internet, YouTube, Metal Robot Reviews, Facebook and Twitter at The Metal Robot, Instagram at The Metal Robot, on Threads as well, and head on over to themetalrobot.com, our online hub for all things Metal Robot. I'm Tom McKay. If you enjoyed this episode and you want more, be sure to subscribe wherever you get your favorite podcasts, and I'll see you in the mosh pit next time. Have a good night.